Our student trustees are going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please rise for the Pledge of the Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Trustee Napoli Reese is going to read our statement of cooperation. Oh, yes. Can we have roll call, please, first?
Student trustee Malik.
Here.
Student trustee Migliaccio.
Here.
Trustee Withrow.
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez Yuan. Right here. Trustee Napoli Bellarice.
Yes.
Trustee Delphine Pope.
Yes.
Trustee Johannes. Here. Trustee Gonzalez Brito.
Here.
Trustee Quinlan.
Here.
You have a quorum.
So I was also supposed to announce that according to AB 2449, Trustee Delphine Polk will be joining us due to illness on Zoom. Statement of cooperation, please.
The Peralta Community College District Board of Trustees is committed to our effectiveness as a board. Through an annual self-evaluation and the establishment of meaningful goals, we dedicate ourselves to functioning as a high-performing team on behalf of the people we represent in helping students reach their educational goals. We, therefore, commit to honoring and upholding these commitments in words and in action. The full statement of cooperation is attached to this agenda item, but in summary, we commit to three things. 1, build trust and seek to understand each other. 2, be prepared and follow good governance and ethical protocols. And 3, model the behavior we want others to exhibit.
Thank you, Trustee Reese. Can I get a motion to, so I have a report of action taken in closed session.
In closed session, the board considered an appeal of 6 administrative determinations involving complaints against employees. On a motion by Trustee Gonzalez-Yuen and a second by Trustee Reese, the board voted to affirm the administrative determination and deny the appeals, and appeals numbers 2526-1, -2, -3, -4, -5, and -6. Trustees Quinlan, Gonzalez-Yuen, Gonzalez-Brito, Johannes, and Reese voting yes. Trustee Delphine Polk abstaining, and Trustee Withrow absent. Thank you.
Thank you. Approval of the agenda. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Trustee Withrow and seconded by Trustee Gonzalez-Brito. I forget which one to give.
I wasn't going to help you.
No. Is there any discussion? Okay. Can I have roll call, please?
Student trustee Malik.
Yes.
Student trustee Migliaccio.
Yes.
Trustee Withrow.
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez Yuan. Yes. Trustee Napoli Bellarice.
Yes.
Trustee Delphine Polk.
Yes.
Trustee Johannes.
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez Brito.
Yes.
Trustee Quinlan.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Item 3.7, approval of minutes. Can I now get a motion to approve the minutes from the June 24th meeting?
So moved.
Motion was made by Trustee Withrow and seconded by Trustee Ewan Gonzalez.
That'll work.
Can I roll call, please?
Student trustee Malik.
Yes.
Student trustee Migliaccio.
Yes.
Trustee Withrow.
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez Yuan. Trustee Napoli Bellarice. Trustee Delphine Polk.
Yes.
Trustee Johannes.
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez Brito.
Yes.
Trustee Quinlan.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Is there a report from our Associated Students Government Body?
I apologize, President. We still have 3.8, the second approval of the minutes from the board retreat.
Sorry, second minute.
Second.
See, that's what happens when you have good support on the board. Can we have a roll call, please?
I apologize. Who was the second vote?
Johannes.
Oh, thank you. Student trustee Malik.
Yes.
Student trustee Migliaccio.
Yes.
Trustee Withrow.
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez Yuan.
Yes.
Trustee Napoli Bellarice. Trustee Delphine Polk.
Yes.
Trustee Johannes?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez Brito? Trustee Quinlan?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Item 3.9, Associated Student Government Reports. Are there any reports tonight?
Hi, everybody. I'm Associated Student of Merritt College President Davina Malbrough, and I'm going to give you my report. Started off August, we hosted the annual student body retreat at Merritt College with all colleges in attendance. 2 days of fun, learning, and getting acquainted with each other for the next physical school year. Last week was Welcome Week. Welcome Week was a success. We kicked off things strong Monday and Tuesday by passing out our own personal merch and letting students know who ASMC was and what we do. On Wednesday, we bought out a soul food caterer, fed over 150 students with support from the district who joined us for our drip check challenge and handed out even more merch from the district. And then on Thursday, it was all about leveling up. Students got free professional headshots in exchange for Jumbo Juice while supplies lasted. Also, during Welcome Week, we started fundraising our new jackets. As y'all can see, we are fundraising for the scholarships that we give away during our May gala. So hopefully we can get some support from the district. And if you guys want to help us out with supporting us by buying jackets, you can reach out to me or either of our advisors, Michelle May or Doris Hankins. Shout out to ASMC for showing up and showing out for students. We're excited to keep this energy going all semester long, and shout out to Merritt. Thank you. That's my report.
Thank you. Or do we have any other student council reports? Okay. Can we get our report from the classified senate, please?
Greetings, Board of Trustees, Chancellor Gilkerson, administrative leadership, and community members. It is with great pleasure that I present to you the following reports on the behalf of the Peralta Classified Senates. Berkeley City College Classified Senate Ad Hoc Committee formed a professional development event, it hosted its first speaker series for the 2025-26 academic year entitled How to Buy a Home in the Bay Area on Thursday, August 21st. Executive Assistant to the President, Annie Liu, invited Realtor Cliff Zhang of Willamar Real Estate and Stephen Barber, Senior Vice President of Mortgage Lending at Rate, to share strategies and insights to home shopping and lending resources available to help navigate the competitive Bay Area real estate landscape. Students and faculty also took part in the workshop. It was a great first step in providing engaging and informative staff development activities for classified at BCC, and we look forward to other upcoming developments this year. Big thank you to Annie Liu for organizing this session. Our next report is the District Service Center Classified Senate, which is scheduled to hold its first meeting in the academic year on September the 10th from 1 to 2:30 p.m. via Zoom. We are truly excited to kick off the academic year with a positive spirit and invite all DSC classified community to attend. We are collaboratively designing a District Service Center classified professional logo, which we believe reflects the mission, core values, and principles of Peralta and establishes a strong identity and presence for District Service Center classified professionals. I would like to personally thank Marcus Creel for stepping up to collaborate with me on this project. As the saying goes, teamwork truly makes the dream work. Laney College Classified Senate kicked off the academic year with its reintroduction campaign to the Laney College community and established a new meeting schedule. The Laney Classified Senate will hold its meeting on the fourth Tuesday of each month from 12 to 1 p.m. in the Renee Rivas Senate Lounge in room T 650, and would like to extend the opportunity to faculty and administrators to meetings to listen, discuss, and share concerns. My final report comes from the Peralta Classified Senate as a whole. The Peralta Classified Senate met on July 17th and is scheduled to meet again on September 18th from 3 to 4:30 p.m. we encourage all classified to attend our upcoming meeting to provide input as we set SMART goals for the 2025-26 academic year. We are currently taking steps to enhance the visibility of the Classified Senate by incorporating creative approaches through initiatives such as the launch of the Peralta Classified Senate newsletter in the fall 2025 semester, and establishing a Peralta Classified Senate Recognition Award, which will recognize 5 classified professionals, one from each campus and the district, for their exemplary service and demonstrated commitment to the mission, values, and principles of Peralta. Our overall goal is to build a community of Peralta classified professionals through collaboration, teamwork, inclusion, and professional development to uplift one another as we achieve our outcomes together with passion, thriving with purpose, and trailblazing in the possibilities as Peralta Classified United. Thank you and have a great evening.
Thank you. Can now get a report from our District Academic Senate.
Good evening, Board of Trustees, Chancellor, college leadership, and members of our campus community. My name is Leslie Blakey, and I am the District Academic Senate President for this academic year. For the past 3 years, I have been the Laney Senate President. I will be ably assisted by the Vice President for DAS by Tom Renberger, who is the current Merritt Senate VP and previously Merritt Senate President and Curriculum Chair for several years. The faculty are looking forward to a busy year. In addition to the time we spend in our classrooms and supporting students outside the classroom, we also participate in shared governance committees to bring the variety of perspectives that we have and the solutions that we often hold as a variety of voices for the table. I am starting my 22nd year at Laney and my 33rd year in the overall in community college. So yes, I was a freeway flyer for 11 years. I know that faculty are keepers of much of the institutional knowledge, and so can be architects finding solutions to difficult problems. In past years, we have started discussing how to coordinate building on the work of the guided pathways that have been done at the colleges, developing 2-year schedules, different modalities, and timing of offerings coordinated between departments and colleges, as well as strategies to help recover enrollments. And I think those are going to be priorities as we move forward in this year as well. Classes started last week, and the campuses feel recovered from the pandemic silence. Lots of bustle with students on the campuses, counselors busy with the last-minute enrollment rush, basic needs and student service centers letting folks know all that is offered, and of course, instruction offered in face-to-face, hybrid, and online modalities to support our students' educational journeys. In addition to working within the district, we also have faculty working at the statewide level. We have Laney librarian Yiping Wang on the Library Services Platform Committee, College of Alameda adjunct faculty and Laney curriculum specialist Yolani Sodi-Garden on the ASCCC Legislative Advocacy Committee and as co-chair to the ASCCC Asian Pacific Islander Caucus. Counselor Lillian Chow is on the Transfer Articulation and Student Services Committee. Merritt's Monica Ambalal and myself have been named to the ASCCC CTE Leadership Committee. In addition, we have faculty from all of the campuses as ASCCC liaisons and CTE in OER, which is the Open Educational Resources. I realized I was using too many letters, sorry. And Rising Scholars liaisons, to name a few of the efforts. So it's really exciting that we are contributing so much to the statewide conversations as well from Peralta. I look forward to working with the faculty, classified professionals, students, and administrators from all across the district this year, and to reporting out to the Board of Trustees the input and innovations from the faculty. Thank you.
Thank you. So item 3.12. We'll now move to public comments. Please remember this portion of public comments is only for items that are not on the agenda. If you have a comment on a public hearing item, please wait for that item to be called before you make your comment. Thank you. Board Clerk, do we have any public comment tonight?
Yes, President, we do. John Beam is first, following by Leah Taylor.
Thank you. My name is John Beam. Today, I am speaking as a 43-year resident of Oakland and as a taxpayer that has gladly paid my parcel tax every year and bond money for facilities that you all have done a great job of providing for this community. Today, you have something on the agenda about facility fees, and I want to thank the Lewis and Nikki and you all, Pauline, for getting back, and I appreciate that. I'm just glad that you wrote back, right, and Cindy. But I just want to bring this to attention of that the Civic Center Act was put in place so as you pass bonds and you build things for your community, that it goes back not only for our students here, but also our community. And it's pretty clear that the cost of operating a facility, we charge for supervisor, custodial, grounds, the different things that happen. But the actual facility, we're not supposed to use that as a moneymaker. We're supposed to give that back because our community is paying for it in taxes. And I went to the PBC and I talked to, our COO, and they listened. I know I talked to our president, Becky, and I know you and David had some conversations. And we looked at these things, and you've changed it since the last time and you started lowering prices. But you also said that you want to do shared governance. But what data are you using? So there's two items that stick out to me is our track. It has been the lowest charged facility in our district, and now it's going to the highest charged district. Why? It's more than the football field, the soccer, our gym, anything else. We're going from $50 an hour to $168 an hour. That's a 70% increase. If you look at all the other schools in our, that, there was a data that I found, and I'm sure that Greg found, that we compare it to San Mateo, track is 25 an hour, Foothill, 48 hour, Contra Costa, 87, Chabot, 140. But ours is going to 168 after being $50. That makes no sense, right? That's not right for our running community, the people that use it. We have a running group that comes every Wednesday that's free. We're gonna price them right out. And we're not really competing against CSM, Foothill, and all them, are we? We're competing right here in Oakland. We're Oakland. People aren't gonna move their nonprofit
30
to go
seconds.
somewhere else. The swimming pool, we're charging a fee for when they compete. Well, why? I was told because with the timing system. Well, if you knew, and I brought it up, our timing system doesn't even work at Laney. So you're gonna charge them from a system that doesn't work? And when we do get it to work, you're already gonna charge them when we do
seconds.
it. So I just ask that you look at those two things when you vote to make it right, so it makes sense for our community, because they are gonna keep passing bonds. But I do appreciate you responding to me, and I definitely appreciate you giving these facilities for not only for Laney, Peralta, all Peralta, Merritt, and Alameda, but also for this community. We want to continue doing this for our community. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next is Leah Taylor, followed by Sanjay Garla.
Hello, everyone. My name is Leah Taylor, and I am here with the support of SEIU USWW, the union that the Peralta security officers fought in order to be a part of. They fought together. They were supposed to get their union benefits in 2 months. Things like health care, affordable health care, things like making sure that they have a raise every single year. Things like making sure that they can go on vacation and not have to worry about, losing all the money that I would have made that week. Instead of that happening, Peralta board members, you voted against it, and they lost all of the things that they were going to gain. So that means, I know a single mother, she was looking forward to those raises that she was going to get each year. But she got fired because she demonstrated alongside the union. She exercised a right of hers. And the next couple of days, she was fired with this new company that is brought in. Just to even talk about everything that's going on with medical, with it getting ready to get off the table. So that means federal funding is not going to be inputted into these to offset these costs. So now officers have to wait a whole year for medical. Whew. That's tragic, Because for my own experience, I have severe asthma, and I had to go to the hospital at a time when I did not have medical, and I got a bill for $18,000. How in the world was I going to pay that? The only way that I was able to pay is because I was able to get emergency Medi-Cal. Now we're talking about people that are scared to go to the doctor because they don't have simple copay for them to go to the doctor. These are the things that have been taken away from them, and we're asking for you to reconsider, because everyone deserves to have simple, essential benefits in order to have a better life. It's not too late. We know that you may be able to, like I said, reconsider and bring in companies that are responsible and actually care about the employees, because 1 year is way too long to wait for medical. Being able, also, folks have had a decrease in their pay.
30 seconds.
And that's unfair as well. Just to know that they're going to get a higher pay each year, now their pay has decreased. And now they don't have any way of knowing if they're ever going to get a raise again. So we just ask you to reconsider for these officers that protect your school grounds. I was here the last time
10 seconds.
that you had a board meeting, and I know that it was some reservations. We ask you to reconsider, please. Thank you.
Next is Sanjay Garla, followed by Jeff Sanseri.
Good evening, trustees. My name is Sanjay. I'm the first vice president of SEIU USWW, and I feel like Leah really laid it out. And I want to I know that y'all are used to folks coming here and complaining and advocating on different things, and I want to be clear that USWW and SEIU, we fully support the mission of Peralta. And the reason that we're here and we're invested is because we actually care about how our community college does and the mission that it's carrying out. There's no doubt that the actions taken by the community college district harmed people. It's over 100 people, some of whom lost their job, most of whom, if they were lucky enough to get a job, were rewarded with a pay cut. And the feeling of like having a dream and pursuing it, and these workers organized and really, tried to form a union, and were so excited when they were told like, hey, you're going to be able to phase into the union contract. And just to be clear on the healthcare, even after a year, these folks are going to get substandard health insurance that they probably won't be able to afford. It is a far cry from having a union health plan. So it's a big deal, and we're here because we know where there's a will, there's a way. There was harm done, and I don't believe for 1 second that was the intent of anybody in this room. And I think that sometimes these processes are in place and they have a life of their own. So we're here to ask, we're not the experts, but we know that when there's a will, there's a way. And we're asking each and every one of you to step up and say, okay, let me roll up my sleeves and figure this out. Because I think that the consequence of having staff with that level of turnover, these are critical staff that help support the security operations of this college. And you want people that are here day in and day out, know the entrances and exits, know the faces of the people that they're seeing, know the students, and have that relationship. And if it's a revolving door here, it not only hurts the employees, but it hurts the college. So again, I've shared my contact information with everybody here. We are open for dialogue. We want the workers to be part of the process, and we want the union to be part of the process.
20 seconds.
So we're asking for us to roll up our sleeves and work together. And with that, I want you all to hear from all of the security officers, janitors, and members. If you guys can stand up. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, we have Jeff Sanseri.
Okay. Hello, we're back. We're starting over. My goodness. It's good to see you. Welcome back. I think the first thing before I dive into this, I'll say that, I had the pleasure of being at the Alameda Labor Council dinner last week, where our own Jennifer Shinowski was honored with the award, the Boots on the Ground Award. I was happy to be sitting next to a couple of our trustees when that was happening. I'd also say that the USWW was honored as well, and they are gone now, it looks like. Okay. But they were honored for the organizing that they've done, and they should be proud of the work that they're doing and continue to do. And also a thank you to Paulina Gonzalez Brito and Louis Quinlan for their presence that day. Just launching into Flex Day, and I'm looking at the time, but I don't think it's going to be taking me that long. I'd say that if there was after Flex Day, if there was a word to describe the feeling of faculty, I'd say it's apprehensive, still very much so. Faculty that have spoken to me about the imminent merger of campuses. I think we all agree this is new territory that we're entering. I don't know if there's a model for this. I think I read a couple stories where somebody in the administration was quoted saying that exact same thing, so I would follow suit and agree. I'm encouraged that as we move forward, our faculty union will be bargaining over the impacts of the coming changes. In the meantime, my ultimate concern, and maybe the concern of others in this room, is that while this process is seen through, we all need to watch and make sure that faculty don't fall off the radar. I worry that we're headed in that direction as consolidation looms, class sizes increase, less classes are offered possibly, and the student experience falters. I worry about the quality of learning that happens in the larger we win. I'm worried about the quality of learning that ends up happening in these classes as they become larger and we offer less of them to our students. I worry about the faculty who actually rely on these, these positions as their job and they care about what they do. And I'm hoping that as we move forward together that we're going to be continuing to have conversations and that we'll all be watching, very carefully to make sure that faculty and students and certainly everybody else isn't harmed. So thank you for your time. 40 seconds, I feel like I should chant. No, I'm fine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Leo Rodriguez and then Victor Diaz. Leo Rodriguez. Okay, next, Victor Diaz.
Thank you. Good evening, Board of Trustees. My name is Victor Diaz, and I'll be really brief. I just want to begin by saying, I'm here to speak about the fees for the track facility. But before I begin with that, I want to say that I'm a proud community college student myself and was able to attend community colleges and then transfer to the UCs, and very thankful for that opportunity. It came at a really important time in my life, so I understand the value of the campus and the offerings that the campus plays in the community. I also had a 30-year history in public education, mostly in Oakland Unified and Berkeley. But I'm here today to talk as a small business owner in Oakland, where I lead a track program that is free every Wednesday night here at Laney College. And I did bring 3 articles that were written in the Chronicle, if I can leave these with someone. These were featured, the program was featured in the Chronicle, if anybody cares to see that, that describes the impact that that we are having in the community and that the facility plays in having a space that is free, that is safe, and that is welcoming to everyone in Oakland. So I understand also the difficulty in balancing a budget and with rising costs. So my recommendations are that if it could be considered a sliding scale for small businesses and nonprofits that can pay accordingly. I'm also very well supported by some of the major shoe brands in the industry, many of which we've actually had here at the Laney facility to do cross promotions with, like Nike and On and Hoka. So if there is a working group that is trying to come up with alternative solutions to fill the gap that is caused either directly by the use of the facility, to operate the facilities, I'd be more than happy to be a part of any working group to come up with solutions for that as well. So thank you again for your time. It's a beautiful facility. We're really lucky and honored to be there and to share with the other community groups that use the facility, and it actually works. with soccer balls flying everywhere and kids as young as 5 and 6 that are running track. And we have adults in our group that are as old as 70, 75 that are out there running, and it all works, and it's beautiful to see. I welcome all of you to come out on a Wednesday at 6 p.m. and see the beauty that is happening there. So thank you again, and I appreciate having the moment to share that experience. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have no other public comment.
Thank you, everyone. Chancellor's report.
Well, good evening, trustees, district community. It's a pleasure to be back with you all. And I'd like to start by welcoming everybody to the fall 2026 semester. Classes started on August 18th, and each of the colleges had welcome week activities that included food, swag giveaway to help students settle in. And I also want to welcome our student trustees, Trustee Ayan Malik and Leo Migliaccio. After being sworn in on June 24th, this is their first official board meeting so in their new roles. So it's been a pleasure to meet with you, and welcome to both of you tonight. I also want to welcome S. Jamila Buckner, who joined the district as Vice Chancellor of Human Resources and Employee Relations in July, making this her first regular board meeting too. So welcome. I'm glad you're here as well. On June 26th, I traveled to the island to meet up with College of Alameda President Melanie Dixon and Vice President of Instruction Nicole Porter and attend an award ceremony hosted by the Alameda Chamber and Economic Alliance. We were happily joined by Trustee Bill Withrow. Alameda Mayor Ashcroft was also there. College of Alameda was honored with the Excellence in Workforce Development Award, which acknowledges creative strategies preparing workers for tomorrow's economy through training, inclusion, and partnerships. So congratulations to President Dixon and all our colleagues at College of Alameda for the honor. We doing all right? It's slideshow mode? All right. Well, Laney College art students transformed Fifth Avenue. So over a few weeks in July, Laney College mural students studying with faculty member Fred Alvarado completed a bold and beautiful mural on a district service center building located on Fifth Avenue just west of East 8th Street, just around the corner from where we are now. The once plain and often graffitied covered structure now bursts with color, symbolism, and community pride. This is an example of what we can create when we collaborate. My thanks to Professor Alvarado and the district general services team who helped make this happen. And my thanks especially to Laney College students who created this beautiful work of art. I want to congratulate the 22 students who received their safety aid certificate from Merritt College this summer. Congratulations. Students who completed the rigorous training program now have jobs with the Peralta Community College District as part of our Department of Community Safety, which uses student safety aids to augment the professional security organizations hired by the district. This program is making our campuses safer while also providing some real-world work experience for students who are in our Administration of Justice program up at Merritt College. So really pleased, and thanks to President Johnson and the whole team for making this happen. In a bold step towards expanding access, Laney College is offering students a direct pathway into high-demand construction trades through a new pre-apprenticeship program. Developed in partnership with the Alameda County Building Trades Council and Construction Trades Workforce Initiative, the program is already transforming lives and strengthening ties between education and labor. 18 students graduated in May 2025, followed by 22 more in July. This program is a powerful example of what happens when education and labor come together to invest in people. You can read more about their story in the Peralta Gems. Well, we've had some facilities improvements across the district this summer. So the district facilities team and their contractors were busy all summer with substantial improvements across the district. These improvements included installing new wood, tile, and carpet flooring at each college, the remodeling and updating of the cosmetology classrooms at Laney, the repair of elevators, and even more. And I gotta tell you all, this is historic. All the elevators in our district are working at the beginning of the semester, which is a huge feat for us. Here are just a few photos from the libraries at BCC and COA, classroom spaces at Laney, and new floors at the Student Center at Merritt College. I know all involved work incredibly hard to get this important work done in time for the start of the fall term, so thank you to all involved. I'm pleased to report the district has launched the Student Success Navigator Program, a new initiative designed to improve student onboarding. The program uses a no wrong door approach to focus on students getting what they need. The goal is to reduce barriers and foster collaboration between different departments and colleges. The first group of 40 navigators, including college staff and student workers, recently completed an intensive district-wide training. This program represents a significant culture shift towards a more holistic, student-first approach. This collaborative effort is part of the district's commitment to improving student success and engagement and really embracing the fact that our students go to multiple campuses. I want to thank Dr. Tina Vasconcelos, the Vice Chancellor of Educational Services, and the College Enrollment Services Coordinators in particular, Gail Pendleton, Charles Bradshaw, Ryan Gregory, and Nancy Moreno for their leadership as we roll out this exciting new student support program. On August 14th, classified professionals, faculty, and administrators from across the district gathered at Merritt College for Flex Day, our district-wide professional development day. My thanks to Chelsea Cohen and Marla Leach for organizing a terrific program, including a focus on building equitable transfer for students. The day wouldn't have been possible without the volunteers who led sessions and the staff from IT, Peralta TV, district and college facilities. Special shout out to Tara Marrero and President Johnson and the Merritt community for hosting. Over 500 people attended either in person or via Zoom, and I'm grateful that most attended in person. Later in the morning, I shared my vision for our future. As we look into the year ahead, I want to ground us in a simple truth. Growth requires pruning. In gardening, pruning isn't about loss, it's about shaping for the future, and that's what we're doing in Peralta. Over the past several years, we've sustained multi-million-dollar cuts year after year, and yet through discipline and commitment, we've positioned ourselves, through discipline and commitment, we've not only made significant improvements, we've endured. We've positioned ourselves to focus on long-term strength. That resilience speaks volumes about the people here. This year, our work ahead is focused on pruning to grow, reviewing programs and courses to reduce duplication and strengthen offerings, developing a weekend and evening college to expand access, consolidation, the coordination of distance education across colleges for a more consistent student experience, expanding concurrent enrollment and reverse transfer opportunities, also coordinating dual enrollment across the colleges so that there's one experience for all of our college partners, and unifying our colleges into a stronger, more integrated network. Now, I know there's been public attention around the idea of creating an Oakland City College, but let me be clear. This is only one piece of a much larger assessment. Our priority is not about one possible structural change, but about how across the district we reduce fragmentation, improve collaboration, and ensure that every student has access to the very best educational opportunities. I want to emphasize, I am optimistic, not because the challenges are small, they aren't, but because of the people here. I will bet on Peralta every single time. Our faculty, classified professionals, students, and administrators have shown again and again that they can meet challenges with creativity, focus, and heart. We are not just getting through, we are building colleges that will endure and thrive for the long term. Together, we are shaping a future where Peralta stands stronger than ever. So thank you, and that concludes my Chancellor's report for this evening.
Thank you, Chancellor. Item 4.1, the General Bond Measures Oversight Committee Annual Report. Chancellor?
Thank you, Board President. I'm pleased that we have an incredible Bond Oversights Committee that is chaired by Jeff Canberra, who's here tonight representing at-large members, but is really representing an incredible committee of volunteers in our community who care deeply about the district. So the Bond Oversight Committee approved their latest annual report for fiscal year 2023-24 at their May 14th meeting, and I'm pleased that Jeff is here tonight to give us an update on that report. Thank you, Jeff.
Good evening. Thank you. My name is Jeff. Good evening, President Flynn, members of the Board of Trustees, Chancellor Gilkerson, district staff. My name is Jeff Canberra, and I am the chair of the Citizens Bond Oversight Committee. It's my pleasure to present the annual compliance report for the 23-24 fiscal year. As you know, the purpose of the committee is to ensure that the district expends Measure A and Measure G bond funds for the specific projects approved by the voters. Since my last report to the Board of Trustees in October of 2024, we had 4 very productive meetings and focused on 3 primary areas: bond programs, fiscal health, and committee administration. First, on bond programs, we reviewed the progress of several major initiatives, which were actually described tonight, including the new 6-story Amelia Street building at Berkeley City College, the Child Development Center and Horticulture Complex on the Merritt College campus, the modernization efforts of the Central Utility Plant at Laney College, and the new Transportation Technology Center at the College of Alameda. Second, regarding physical health, I am happy to report that the district has demonstrated sound financial management. The independent audits conducted by CWDL reported no findings for the 23-24 fiscal year, confirming that the Measure A and Measure G funds went into voter-approved projects and that the district is in full compliance with the requirements of Proposition 39. Third is committee administration. In June of this year, we had 2 long-serving members of the committee term out, and I would like to acknowledge Andrea Dawson and Marcus Crowley and thank them for their 6 years of service. Additionally, I want to welcome Joby Thomas and Mark McComb to the committee. Finally, I want to acknowledge the addition of Deputy Chancellor Greg Nelson, Director Amy Marshall, and Executive Assistant Shanova Berry, who support the committee's activities. In conclusion, the committee finds that the district has been in compliance with the voter-approved bond measures, and we look forward to continuing our important work to ensure transparency and accountability to the taxpayers and voters. Thank you.
Thank you for your report, and thank you for your hard work over the past several years. Approval of all consent items. Can I get a motion to approve the consent items?
So moved.
Motion was made by Trustee Withrow and seconded by Trustee Gonzalez-Ewing.
Student Trustee Malik?
Yes.
Student Trustee Migliaccio?
Yes.
Trustee Withrow?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez-Ewing?
Yes.
Trustee Napoli Bellarice?
Yes.
Trustee Delphine Polk?
Yes.
Trustee Johannes?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez Brito?
Yes.
Trustee Quinlan?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Item 10.1 is public hearing and approval of the Peralta Community College District fiscal year 25-26 adopted budget. This being the time and date notice, the Board of Trustees will now convene a public hearing to receive public comment regarding the Peralta Community College District fiscal year 25-26 adopted budget.
Thank you, Board President, pleased tonight, again, the board was presented on June 10th, 2025, presented the first reading and presentation of our tentative budget for fiscal year 25-26. Pleased to have CEO Nelson here tonight to present on the district's adopted budget.
Good evening, and while she's bringing that presentation up, I just want to say thank you for all the hard work for those who've helped work on the budget, between my staff, the members of the Planning and Budget Committee, and then all the work that's happened at the colleges at the local level to get us where we are today. It does not go unnoticed, the amount of work that went into the budget this past year to get us where we are, and I'm going to present on that today. So I'll just get started. So as we get going here, after I said the thank yous and so forth, I just wanted to kind of give some historical perspective, and the Chancellor talked about this on slide 4 during her flex presentation. And you also, this board, saw this at the October Laney presentation last fall about the historical. I guess I'll pause for a second. That's all right. Go back to the slide, please, Sash. How about we just keep going and just click through the slides for me, and we'll just keep going. You ready? Good. I'm on slide 4. Thank you. So as I mentioned, this is some of the historical reference the Chancellor brought up in Flex, and this is just for context of some of the historical funding challenges we've had. Next slide, please. So I wanted to highlight some of the changes from the tentative budget that the board approved at the June 10th meeting to the adopted budget that's being presented tonight. So we have made adjustments based on the board adopting BP AP 6250 related to budget management and the reserve that was passed in May 2025. These, you've seen this list before, but contributions to the OPEB special reserve, the public agent retirement services are known as PARs, the set aside for SEIU vacation payouts that happens in December of each year, and then the money we set aside for the resignation incentive. We also made adjustments in position control to reflect the positions. So just to note, at the June 10th meeting, we were doing the tentative budget, but we were also doing the reduction in force. So the budget did not reflect that action item. So the adopted budget does reflect the adjustments for the resignation incentive and for the reduction in force. We also made adjustments to college budgets and to the district office for the centralization of custodial services, information technology, and other organizational changes throughout the colleges and the district. And then we also made, we made adjustments for the budget and to count for the new shuttle bus service that'll be starting in October of 2025 based on a referendum that the students passed this past spring, and that process is ongoing. So to give you a little color around what we talked about this time last year, right after I first started with the district to where we are today, you'll see the July 2024 tentative budget that when I arrived at the district, we were looking at multi-years of large deficits for each year. So we addressed some of that throughout the year. We've done renegotiation of contracts, et cetera. And as the Chancellor talked about in her flex presentation, and as well here, you can see we did our budget reductions for 24-25, but now we have a short-term runway of 25, 26, 26, 27. We're not out of the woods yet. Now this number can change, obviously, based on what we do in the next couple of years. But right now we are projected based on step and column increases and so forth to have a $9 million deficit and a $16 million deficit. And as it was before, if we take the $9 million, it'll come off the 16. So the 16 will be reduced if we take the $9 million in that subsequent year. As I said, though, those out years are a little more loose than the current couple years. So as we do more changes throughout this coming year and the following year, that will impact that 27, 28, and 28, 29 figure. Go to the next slide, please. Okay, the box is slid. But this graph is just, this is the bottom of the budget book on page 45 in the book that you received. So this just to show you that we are meeting our reserve levels that the board adopted in BP 6250. We're going to finish, projected to finish 25-26 with an 8.27% reserve. The board policy reserve is 8%, and you'll see right below that, we're going up 0.5% per year in this presentation. So you're going from 8 to 8.5 to 9 to 9.5%. And based on those projections, that's how you get the 9 and the $16.6 million deficits in those out years, so we can meet the reserve and know what our target is, so we can stay in the black for the year. Next slide. Oh, go back one. Thank you. So this is, I know this is hard to read on the screen for those who are watching online. This is the summary page. It's on page 45 of the adopted budget book, and we'll be posting this if the board approves it. But this just shows the yellow highlighted box is for the current fiscal year. I'll just note, you'll see a $7 million deficit for net decrease on that presentation. And so that reflects the payouts we did for the OPEB special reserve, the PARS funding. We did it right around the first week of July. It impacts the current fiscal year, but it's for activities that happen at the end of the fiscal year, but it reflects in this year total. You have to scroll down. Okay, let's go to the next slide, please. So some of the impacts of the changes we made last fiscal year, we have seen a increase in our rating agencies for credit. So last year we were at a AA negative with a negative outlook. We have gone up 2 spots on our ratings. Now we have a AA plus with a stable outlook from Fitch, and we also had a AA negative with a negative outlook from S&P, and now we have a AA plus with a positive outlook, or stable outlook, excuse me, from, go back please. Thank you. These increased ratings not only help us with our OPEB bonds, but also our investors from 2022. We had 1 investor for our bonds. Now we had 7 this time around for this summer. That has a dramatic increase from what we saw before, and it also helps us with our ratings. Additionally, we were able to drive down interest rates by refunding $13.7 million in taxpayer dollars on the current bonds that we had that were maturing. And then lastly, just a quick update on the PARS investment that we made the first part of July. We've already seen a $39,000 yield in positive earnings for that account based on that $3 million initial investment. And we'll get monthly updates as those yields come in based on interest earnings. And as a reminder to the board, we did a conservative approach for the PARS fund. So we're pretty stable. We have it locked in. And so we'll be making that investment, and then we'll add other dollars to it so we can draw off that to pay the pension liabilities for the district. To remind you, what we earn at the bank in the county is 0.2%, and we're earning about 3% in the PARS trust. Okay, next slide. So as I mentioned, we have a 2-year runway that positions the district to think more boldly. We have difficult decisions to make. We are still living under the SCIF hold harmless, and we continue to have prudence in this resource allocation process and continue to realign our resources. And then we also have to continue to embrace the collaborative approach with our shared governance model that'll help us meet our future challenges. And with that, Board President, I will stop there for the budget and take any questions on the budget.
Go ahead, Polly, sorry.
Hi. Well, first of all, I know it wasn't without pain to get to the 2-year runway, and want to acknowledge that, but also say that it's a good place to be. So congratulations on the hard work, and also for taking care of our community in that process. And can you say a little bit about where we are with, in terms of SCIF, and how we're doing in terms of improving outcomes and therefore impacting our financial position?
Yeah, so thank you for that question on the SCIF. So just a quick reminder to the board, the SCIF is on a 3-year rolling basis. So while we have changes in 1 year, we're still, giving an example, we're still working off of data from 22-23 as the first year of that 3-year rolling average. And so when it comes to looking at some of the, I'll just give you a couple of highlights on some of the SCIF, because there's a lot of SCIF metrics, and I have the whole sheet here. But to give you an example, so AB 540 students, we went up from 419 to 643. For Pell students, we went from 4891 to 5491. For the Promise Grant students, we went from 11,294 to 12,936. So those are all very promising. And then also too, when you look at some of the 3-year average on certificates and awards, you'll see that the number of 9 or more taking 9 or more units related to CTE went from 2258 to 2637. So we have students taking more credit units. We had a small decline in transfer, not much, but 883 to 800. Transfer level math went up from 526 to 572. Certificates went up as well, and so did associate degrees. So we're seeing positive increases over each year when it comes to awards and also the individual metrics across. If you have specific questions, I brought my Bible with me from the Schedule C from the state, so I'm happy to answer any other questions you may have if they're more specific questions.
Oh, thank you.
Trustee Johannes, did you have?
Thank you for your presentation and thank you for this budget. Hard to believe that as I look at slide, I don't know which slide it is, that has the July 2024 tentative budget, that we were slated to be at $18 million deficit, 25-26, $27 million deficit in 26-27, and $37 million in 27-28. Again, an incredible kudos to all of you and to everybody for getting us to a point where in 25-26 and 26-27, we are intentionally going to be at 0 deficit, which is pretty amazing. And I have to say, there's so many things that I want to say, but I think one of the things I do want to say is that many people have told us in the past, cut the reserves, cut the reserves, cut the reserves. You don't need to be at that particular point. The difference with what you all did is that there was intentionality and a strategic plan. You were calibrating the reserves, you were cutting them for a couple years with the intention and a plan to raise it back up, which I think was concerning for many of us back then. And then the other thing that you have done is that in the 2 years for us to be in this particular position, you have allowed for generative, creative, fiscally responsible ways to get us back on track. So the couple years that we are doing this, we are doing things so that at the end of the runway, we're actually going to be in a much stronger position. So here's my question for you, because of course there's always a question. And then this may be just my inability to kind of understand this. So for 27-28, 28-29, and the 2025, you have there the 9 million and the 16.6 million, but it's kind of right above the budget, and it's not changing. Right there, in the red. Mm-hmm. So it's not affecting any of the numbers underneath. And I think I know the answer to this, but the reason why that's there is because we know that we're going to be at that deficit, but we are planning to have strategies to ensure that we don't have to be at that point.
Yes, in a summation, we are still continuing to work on contracts. We're still working on efficiencies. We haven't finished everything we started over the summer yet. So like we're doing the new bookstore contract. We're still doing other things that can impact that number later on. That's why I gave a caution that whatever we do this year and next year will impact that 9 million, right? So positively or negatively, but at the same time, no, it is not. So the numbers above the negative is actually what our current projections are for those categories. And then we know we have to come up with another 9 million in addition to make the 9% reserve for that year holistic. So that way we're we're not going back to what we did before, where we're spending the reserve without a plan.
Right.
That we actually have a floor that we can spend to, and then we go above that. So we want to make sure that 9 million is intentional, but at the same time, we know now we have a fixed floor for our reserve, and then we don't want to spend it because it requires 6 out of the 7 board members if there's a true emergency to enact that. But what we want to do is make sure we can have plans leading up to that, which we certainly can do over the next 2 years through our governance process.
And I just want to say, in addition to that, thank you so much for having the visuals for the reserve being recalibrated and the historical reserves going down, because I think that for us, especially being able to see this repeatedly allows for us to kind of understand more fully and more meaningfully what it is we have been doing and what it is we are doing in terms of our plan. So basically, in sum, fantastic. Really, thank you for all the work that you all have been doing in terms of just getting us to a better position to continue to prune, I guess would be the word of the day.
Other questions?
Go ahead, Nick. Sorry.
Thanks. I'm just trying to understand something about our enrollment. You talked about where we are in SCIF and in various categories. And I'm looking at page 44 of the budget book, FTS stats, adopted budget, and then I'm trying to understand how that relates to your slide right after your kudos on historical funding challenges, and then you've got funded FTS versus actual FTS, and the numbers aren't consistent there, and if you could just help me understand the delta.
Sure. So on page 44, it shows the 2017, 2018 through 24, 25. The annual 2025 number is not finalized yet. The 320 report is not due till October. So as we're doing the audit and we're wrapping up positive attendance and other things that relate to the last fiscal year, so the 2025 number we have right now is based on spring enrollment. We don't have the final spring counts, and we haven't locked in the 320 report. So this number is based on what we have through the end of the fiscal year. But once we do the 320 report for the state, which is, like I said, due in October, this number will change and it will become actuals and audited. And so that number will go up based on what our current FTS is that we know about for the end of the spring. But right now, based on the current 320 we have with the state, this is what's reflected in the current 320.
Okay, you were saying this, and I wasn't sure when you were pointing
I'm sorry,
to this.
on page 44,
Okay.
the FTS that's part of 2425 in the bottom right-hand corner of that page, that says 14623, that's based on the early enrollment for spring semester. It does not have the final calcs for spring semester. So positive attendance is not in that number, and other late start classes are not in that number. So the final number for spring semester is not reflected in this book. The 320 report that's due to the state to finalize 24-25 is not due for another 2 months.
Okay, so here's really what I'm trying to get. I'm looking at the enrollment trends, and so as we are sort of planning out into the future, based on where we are right now and the trends that we are, where do you see our enrollment going?
Yeah, so right now, based on the FTS calculation was an accounting change from the state, so we saw a bump from that. But right now, our head count right now is only a 1/10 of 1%, so we're pretty much flat. Now, flat's better than negative, I will say that. There's a lot of districts who are in a worse place than we are. But hopefully we're trending up in the right, even if it's small, where we're trending up in the right direction. You know, we're right underneath the hold harmless, but I don't know that we're going to see that big of an increase because the accounting change made the big increase for us this year. So if we see growth next year, that'd be great. But going to the hold harmless level will help us to a certain degree, but it's not the fix that we need long term.
Mm-hmm. So part of the fix that I'm thinking about is the funding formula itself. And in past years, I've seen statewide data that makes us look like kind of like the norm for a lot of districts. That is, there are a lot of districts that really aren't meeting the SCIF metrics. Where are we in relationship to the rest of the state right now? How many districts, how many colleges are in SCIF hold harmless and now flat? or declining? How many are above?
I haven't got the most recent as the end of the fiscal year, but there's 3 levels to the formula. So you have Schedule A, which is people who are in growth mode, who are receiving an extra enrollment. Then you have Level B, which they are stabilized. They're on the stabilization of the funding formula. That means they have no growth, but they're just flat. And then you have people who are in hold harmless. Right now, there are 11 districts in hold harmless across the state. Most of the East Bay is in hold harmless. And so when you look at the final data that will come out in the next couple of months for all the colleges, we'll have a better sense of who will finish for the year, for the last academic year, and where they sit. But as a reminder, it's only 1/3 of that 3-year rolling average. So some of them won't come out of it completely. They'll still have to linger another year or two until that data. So some people are still dealing with post-COVID data from 22, 23, depending if they came back or not. So we're still seeing that trickle, starting to, the data set is starting to work its way out of the data from the COVID years. So hopefully that'll help. But we're also seeing a big increase statewide from my seat at the CBO board in the Inland Empire, the Central Valley, et cetera. The inner parts of the state have seen the population growth, and that's where the enrollment increases have been. So there's lots of reasons around that. I won't go into them tonight, but I would just say hopefully we're on a positive trend. The last 3 years we have gone up each year, slowly, but we're going up. And so rating agencies are seeing that. The state chancellor's office is seeing that. ACC, JC seeing it. So we're trending in the right direction.
So 11 in hold harmless, and how many were in stabilization then?
Chancellor, you remember? I don't know right off the top of my head. It changes, on a regular basis. The last time I looked was in spring, so I really couldn't tell you without looking at the final data for last academic year.
Thanks.
Any other questions from the board? Have we received any requests to speak, or is there anyone present who wishes to comment regarding this topic?
No, Board President.
Okay. If there are no more comments, I will declare the public hearing closed. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Director Nelson, for your presentation. For the action portion of our item, can I now get a...
Approval of the budget.
Pardon? Oh, okay. Beat me to the punch. Can I get a second?
Second.
Motion was made by Trustee Withrow, and the second was made by Trustee Reese. Can we have a roll call, please?
Student Trustee Malik?
Yes.
Student Trustee Migliaccio?
Yes.
Trustee Withrow?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez-Ewan? Trustee Nabalia Bellarice? Trustee Delphine-Polk?
Yes.
Trustee Johannes?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez-Brito?
Yes.
Trustee Quinlan?
Yes.
You have a motion passes.
Consider approval of the Measure G bond program, bond list revision number 1. Chancellor?
Thank you, Board President. So tonight before you is an updated bond, Measure G bond program spending plan. I'm going to ask for the presentation that was just up to be brought up. There are 3 more slides that, and I'll ask CEO Nelson to give a little background on what we're bringing to you tonight.
Thank you, Chancellor. So in May, the board adopted a bond spending plan for Measure G. And we told you at that time we would be bringing back to you a year-end administrative bond list revision. So historically, you can go to the next slide, please. There is supposed to be what's called an administrative overhead spread. So this is an accounting process to where you take all the costs related to a project, whether it be legal, advertising, program management, et cetera, and you spread it across the projects. And that allows you to amortize your projects in accounting, and allows you to do what's called construction in progress. Go to the next slide, please. So one of the things I wanted to mention, we did talk to our auditors, CWDL. The district has not done the administrative overhead spread since the beginning of Measure G. It should be done on an annual basis, so we got special permission from the auditors to do a one-time adjustment to catch us up. So that way we have all the items caught up for the overhead completion. So when that happens, you'll have some projects that will completely close out. There are projects that have been closed for a while, but once we do the administrative overhead for those years, those projects will be closed and no more expenses can hit those projects. Other items that, go to the next slide, please. Also, changes that you'll see on the bond list revision number 1 before you tonight is we looked at every project and we reviewed it and analyzed it for projects that have appropriate resources to complete the scope and duration that has been outlined in the contracts. Some of those projects gave money back to the district because they were, there are some things that happened in accounting, et cetera. So where we had contingencies, they put change orders, but there was contingencies on the project, so you don't need both. So some of that money was refunded back to the bond. We also closed out projects that have been completed. We closing our projects upon completion of fiscal year end close. So we had projects that had finished 2 or 3 years ago that we want to make sure we button those up. And then we also modified certain project names, scope, and budget based on the recommendations from AECOM and our Director of Capital Projects. So that way we have more holistic language that's also tied to our bond that's been approved by the voters to make sure we stay in compliance with Prop 39 and the IRS. Next slide, please. Okay. And so with that, I'm happy to answer questions around the bond list revision if there's any, but that's the end of my report.
Thank you. Any questions? I would just like to make one comment. On the attached bond list revision approval request, one of the things whenever we've been on campus at our different meetings is when are we going to get new computers? When are we going to get new stuff in the library? When are we going to get new technology? And in this bond list revision approval request, it's all in there. All that information is in there. And that's the first time I've seen this in one of our reports. And we can now point to this and say, it's in the plan, it's been budgeted, it's coming. Some of it's probably already there. And thank you very much for that.
Thank you. Thank you, CEO Nelson, for the work, to our bond team. And I want to just say, trustees, this is an example again of transparency in the work that we're doing. Organization, appreciate the support of the board and helping us support really strengthening our bond program and oversight. And you'll expect this report from us annually as well.
Can I get a motion to approve item 11.1?
So moved.
Second. Second.
Motion was made by trustee Withrow and seconded by trustee Gonzalez Brito. Can you call the question?
Student trustee Malik?
Yes.
Student trustee Migliaccio?
Yes.
Trustee Withrow?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez-Ewan?
Yes.
Trustee Napoli Bellarice?
Yes.
Trustee Delphine Polk?
Yes.
Trustee Yohannes?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez Brito?
Yes.
Trustee Quinlan?
Yes.
Motion passes.
We move to the action items for our agenda. Let's see. 11.1, we just did that, right? Yes. 11.2, consider adoption of resolution number 25-26-187, making spending determinations for fiscal year 25-26 to our education protection account funds. Chancellor, you want to explain that?
Yes, thank you, Board President. So Proposition 30, thank you to the voters. The Local Schools and Local Public Safety Protection Act of 2012 temporarily raises taxes to provide continuing funding for local school districts, county offices of education, charter schools, and community colleges. Proceeds from these taxes are set aside by the state in an education protection account, EPA, as part of the state's general fund and allocated by the state. Peralta Community College District estimates that we'll receive about $23 million of EPA proceeds for fiscal year 25-26. And we have recommended as part of the budget you just adopted that these dollars be used in instructional activities and student support programs as described in the district's fiscal year 25-26 adopted budget. To meet statute and requirements, the board is being asked to adopt this resolution supporting the recommendations that we made to you tonight as it relates to the adopted budget.
Can I get a motion to approve resolution 11.2?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion made by trustee Withrow and seconded by trustee Reese. Call the question.
Student trustee Malik?
Yes.
Student trustee Migliaccio.
Yes.
Trustee Withrow.
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez Ewan. Trustee Napoli Bellarice. Trustee Delphine Polk.
Yes.
Trustee Johannes.
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez Brito.
Yes.
Trustee Quinlan.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Item 11.3, consider adoption of resolution number 25-26, 188, establishing a new fund, the CCLC PARS Pension Rate Stabilization Trust Fund, Fund 74. Chancellor?
Well, trustees, similar to what CO Nelson was talking about tonight as it relates to what we've already received from the dividends from our PARS investment. Again, the work that you all voted on in June of last year was that we created a trust to administer the PARS. So that is the pension rate stabilization program that we are in. You created a trust for those funds and revenue availability, but we're now asking you to adopt this resolution to create with Alameda County a Fund 74, a trust for us for the purposes of tracking the deposits. So this is a request of you tonight.
Can I get a motion to approve 11.3?
So moved.
Trustee Withrow made the motion, and I didn't see who seconded. Trustee, yes.
Student trustee Malik.
Yes.
Student trustee Migliaccio.
Yes.
Trustee Withrow.
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez Ewan. Trustee Napoli Bellarice. Trustee Delphine Polk.
Yes.
Trustee Johannes.
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez Brito.
Yes.
Trustee Quinlan.
Yes.
Motion passes.
11.4, consider adoption of resolution 2526-192 for emergency work in the theater located on the Laney College campus pursuant to Public Contract Code Section 22035. Chancellor?
Yeah, thank you, trustee. On and about July 23rd, 2025, district staff identified a standing water in the theater located at the Laney College campus. So staff from the district's Department of Maintenance Operations investigated and found and identified flooding conditions at the project site. We're asking you to adopt a resolution that authorized me as your designee during the recess to take lawful measures to remediate the issue, which is pursuant to Public Contract Code Section 22050, that in case of emergency, I'm allowed to proceed to procure equipment and make necessary repairs.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. The motion was made by trustee Gonzalez Ewan and seconded by trustee Gonzalez Brito. Can we have a roll call, please?
Student trustee Malik.
Yes.
Student trustee Migliaccio.
Yes.
Trustee Withrow.
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez Ewan.
Yes.
Trustee Napoli Bellarice. Trustee Delphine Polk.
Yes.
Trustee Johannes.
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez Brito.
Yes.
Trustee Quinlan.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Item 11.5, consider approval of the takeover agreement with Hartford Fire Insurance Company for the new Child Development Center. Yeah. Any comment, Chancellor?
No, this is just a approval of the takeover agreement for Hartford Fire Insurance, which authorizes Hartford to take over the completion of the contract the district entered with Wickman Development Construction for the construction of the new Child Development Center project at Merritt College.
Thank you. The motion was made by trustee Gonzalez Ewing and seconded by trustee Withrow. Can I get a roll call, please?
Student trustee Malik.
Yes.
Student trustee Migliaccio.
Yes.
Trustee Withrow.
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez Ewan.
Yes.
Trustee Napoli Bellarice.
Yes.
Trustee Delphine Polk.
Yes.
Trustee Johannes.
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez Brito.
Yes.
Trustee Quinlan.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. 11.6, consider approval of the 25-26 facilities rental fee schedule. Chancellor?
Yes, thank you, Board President. So per California Education Code, it establishes a civic center at every community college and authorizes governing boards to make facilities available for community use. It doesn't require it. It makes it possible and allows us to make sure that we adopt rules and policies and procedures that allow us to make sure that we can retain the direct costs for upkeep of the facilities and the staffing needed to do this. So what we're bringing to you tonight is under BP, Board Policy and Administrative Procedure 6700, the Civic Center and other facilities use, which governs facilities rentals for our district. We have not done an update of the facilities rental fees since 2016 in this district. And they're also within one administrative procedure, 2 different rental schedules within the same one with conflicting prices on them. So this opportunity for us, it's gone through almost a years-long process, started first by our college presidents, led through governance, and formally discussed by the Planning and Budget Committee subcommittee this summer with faculty, classified professionals, students, and administrators there who've reviewed the revised fee schedule and brought it forward unanimously for you for approval tonight. I want to just remind everybody that we are planning to honor existing agreements with organizations who have contracts already in place for this year. This will retain their current structure, pricing, and dates, and all new contracts will follow the updated schedule effective January 1st, 2026. So just for, again, so everybody understands, we're also implementing new software and new ability for our district to manage our facility rentals, to be able to track and amortize what the costs are for us. This keeps us in compliance also with bond regulations that require us to consider our bond-funded projects are open to actually public agencies, is who it is. Anybody outside of nonprofit, including nonprofit and all that, is not actually considered for bond, for work that we've done on bond programs. And so we have to limit and track the amount of time that we're renting facilities that have been used with bond funds to keep their upkeep. So this allows us to track and know what we're doing as well. So adopting the schedule will allow us to build that facility software, which will allow us better access and more equitable access to the public. So I bring forward that recommendation to you tonight.
Can I get a motion to approve 11.6? Oh, question.
I have a question, 2 questions actually. One is related to the cost of maintenance and whether the increase in prices help. Is there a gap now in terms of what we're able to fund? And then the other is Athletic Director John Beam mentioned the cost of the track at 168, I believe. That would be the highest in the region. And so wondering what went into setting these prices and if we looked at different colleges around the region and their costs.
I'm happy to answer the question, and we'll also tag team with CO Nelson as well, or any of the college presidents who also want to weigh in. So first of all, it's very clear that actually, because our prices have not kept up with the cost of actual maintenance and facilities operation, we've also done improvements across the district and certain facilities. And so we have not been able to keep up with them. An example would be, if you look at our pool at Laney College, we've had to close the pool many times throughout its history because of maintenance and upkeep for that facility. The amount of money we get from rentals, but the usage has far outpaced. That's chemicals, water, right? The facilities and equipment alone. And so we really have seen that we have not been able to keep up with and keep our requirement to have safe facilities that we really want to give to the community. So we need to raise the fees to be able to cover these. In addition, the cost for supervision varied across the district, what different colleges offered and charged for supervision. That wasn't keeping in track with our changes to health and welfare and salary rates for employees who staff those things. And so these fees needed to raise to be able to cover those expenses, and that was often coming at the cost for the colleges who are largely doing most of the rentals in the district. So that's number one. Number two, there was adjustments made to the facility related to the review of all of the facilities. John Beam, other folks gave input. There was an analysis done and looking across other districts, comparable kind of areas. Those things varied based on a lot of different data points and insights. What we could see from the track is that originally In our original AP, we had $150 an hour for the preferred user rate with a fair market value of $350. The second piece in the AP had $125 for a special preferred user rate, which is supposed to be high schools and those kind of things. We had, and then the preferred user rate was $150 an hour, and then the fair market rate was $300. So the rate increase was to $168. There was a difference for meets and practice, but based on the feedback from, I believe, John Beam and others, they wanted to actually collapse, not having different rates for meets and practices. And so the PBC and the feedback was taken up to be able to create one price. So 168 is about a 12% increase from the $150 range, which is the preferred user, which is now the nonprofit rate for the facilities.
And that $150 was set when?
This was set in, this was at the 2016.
Are there any other questions? Trustee.
Well, so just following up, because there's just an inconsistency in what Director Beam was saying, where he was saying the rate was 50 an hour, and so it was a 70% increase. You're saying the actual rate was 120 or 100 and something, 150, and then it's going up a percentage. So was it that we simply weren't going by the rate that was published? Or some programs being charged 50 an hour, and that just wasn't consistent with the actual schedule?
Yeah, so in the schedule, so in our standing AP 6700, there are two different rate schedules in the thing that actually conflict with each other, have different rates, have different like users and all of these things. So
Right.
this is in conflict with each other. So Director Beam was talking about track practice. So on a second form in the AP, there was a second schedule that was for athletic facilities that didn't have everything included, but had a special preferred user rate, which he was quoting at $50 an hour. Another one at 70 for preferred users and 140 for the fair rental value. The issue is that, again, that's specific to Laney College. It wasn't the case necessarily at College of Alameda or Merritt College. So what they were charging at the other colleges has been different. So each college was not actually necessarily adhering to the same policy and procedure and those kind of things. So taking input created a more usable schedule that, one, cleans up our administrative procedure and allows us to be clearer to the public about what the fee rates are.
Okay, thank you. Move approval.
Second.
Motion was made by Trustee Ewan Gonzalez and seconded by Trustee Reese.
Student Trustee Malik?
Yes.
Student Trustee Migliaccio?
Yes.
Trustee Withrow?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez-Ewan?
I wanted to make a comment before we took a vote. Can I just make that comment now? After the motion was made and seconded, there wasn't an opportunity then for discussion. And so, is that all right?
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Pardon me?
Didn't he call the question?
You didn't comment. Go ahead.
I asked him. I asked if there were any comments.
Quickly.
I asked if there were any comments. Go ahead.
Thank you. I see this is complicated here, and the thing that I really want to honor is that we have an internal process that includes a lot of people on the ground. Recommendations come to the board frequently, and our job is to listen, and I think we listen to people in the community, but I think we also need to really listen to the people who are kind of overseeing the process. And in this situation, we had a unanimous vote from the PBC and all 4 college presidents and chancellor. There have been times when I've not gone along with recommendations, but those are situations where it seems like there's some like really big crisis. I think for the board to do that, it has to be a big crisis. And this isn't a big crisis. This is a situation where I hope we'll be able to work with community members to figure out how to fund their programs, et cetera. But I can't in good conscience undo an entire process or go against an entire process that's so unanimous. I just don't have that kind of information, so I'm going to cast a yes vote. Thank you.
Chancellor?
Yeah, I just really want to, again, say I recognize that the similar thing that you do, Trustee Gonzalez, you win, and I know all of you trustees care deeply about the community. I want the community to have the facilities as a community resource, and we need to be able to sustain them. That's the problem. We need to be able to continue to share them with the community, but we have to be able to keep them up, not on the back of just actually the instruction and services that they're built for, but being able to do both. And so this really is, we've tried to be really thoughtful and judicious, hearing feedback and doing that. So I appreciate that you see that, but I do want the community to know that this is trying to provide ongoing access for a long time, and that this incremental and healthy way of actually rebenching and doing things will hopefully continue to build trust and have the opportunity for more community members to use our facilities.
Thank you. Are there any other comments?
Yes, just one more comment. And you know, one of the things that I did was I actually went back specifically because I remember having issues related to both the turf field at Laney and at Merritt. And so I went back to 2022 because we have not raised our prices since 2016, right? So I went back to 2022 and we had we approved two allocations for $1.2 million and $287,000 in 2022 for the Merritt soccer field. And then we also approved the turf for Laney in 2022 as well for $782,000 and $1.2 million. So I understand, we should all understand that the increase in prices necessary, is very, very necessary. And we're doing it in a thoughtful way. And again, one more thing, to just go back to the AP, there are very clearly two different price points here, as has been articulated to us, that actually do conflict specifically to track in terms of being very different specific to the colleges. So thank you for increasing our facilities fees in a fair manner, but also ensuring that it was a year-long process to get enough feedback from everybody on the ground level.
Trustee Johannes?
Yeah, so I had a question a bit ago, but it was very much so asked and then answered. So I appreciate you being thorough, Chancellor, and asking. And so I'm just going to reiterate, you said we hadn't updated the prices in nearly 10 years. We've had some issues with our pool that even with the pricing that we have and will have, still probably won't be able to keep it sustainable using these funds from the fees. And then you of course spoke on the track thing, which, yeah, there was an inconsistency. It said 50 to 168, which is more of a 300% increase. And the part that I want to actually speak on is the track. I'm just, you said that the contracts that we have, they will still be able to continue them out throughout. I was just wondering, do you happen to know offhand how far in the future that goes until? And I ask that only to say, is there any way to push that to possibly, for the track specifically, like a friendly amendment to push the nonprofit rate through the end of the school year, just to, I'm not sure how far these, yeah.
Yeah, so thank you for the question, Trustee Johannes. So right now, the way we have it is any agreement that we have in place in the district now, so our current users who have these things are honored until the end of this academic year. So exactly what you're asking for.
June
2020, the end of June.
Okay.
Yep. So we're giving people the runway to do that. Any new renters, they will start on the new facility schedule in January of 2026. So the current users go through June 20, who have current rental agreements and those things with the colleges will go through the end of the academic year, so June 30th, 2026, and new users will start January 1. So January, the J's are getting me confused, January
Okay.
1st.
And then the second part, I just want to address the other speaker, I forget his name, I'm sorry. But he did mention something of a sliding scale again for the smaller groups who want to use. And I'm not saying that we discuss that now. I'm saying I would pass this, especially that we know that this is until the end of the school year for those who have certain contracts. But you did mention that we can readdress, this can be readdressed, this can be changed, this can be, so I'd like to look at this through the year and see what has happened by the end and how these other organizations are sort of working it out if they can or cannot, and how we can work with them for the next school year if we need to.
Absolutely. We certainly will be continuing to assess and, to your point, can bring it back for the board to look at again as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So as long as everybody else has made comments, I would just like to add mine. To me, the critical thing is here, many of us, all of us on this board, fought for many years to get a strong participatory or shared governance model working. It worked. And now to question the hard work that those boards put in, our college presidents put in on this issue, and then say no to that, the work they put in, it doesn't make any sense to me to work for something and it happens and then we disagree with it. So just on that basis alone, I want to support this. Now can we call the question?
Trustee Napolia Bellarice,
Yes.
Trustee Delphine Polk,
Yes.
Johannes,
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez Brito,
Yes.
Trustee Quinlan.
Yes.
Motion passes.
11.7, second reading of and approval of board policies. And we're looking at board policies BP 3250, board policy 4231, board policy 6600, board policy 6700. Chancellor, any comments?
No, Board President Quinlan, these items are a holdover back. They were previously on your agenda to review as a first reading, so here for a second reading for you all tonight.
And I'd just like to note, some of those have not been updated since 2012, which is well outside of our normal review process, so thank goodness.
We're making progress.
Can I get a motion to call the question?
Second.
Made by Trustee Ewan Gonzalez and seconded by Trustee Withrow. Call the roll, please.
Student Trustee Malik,
Yes.
Student Trustee Migliaccio,
Yes.
Trustee Withrow,
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez Ewan,
Yes.
Trustee Napolia Bellarice.
Yes.
Trustee Delphine Polk,
Yes.
Trustee Johannes,
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez Brito,
Yes.
Trustee Quinlan.
Yes.
Motion passes.
11.8, consider approval of the board goals for 25-26. Chancellor?
So moved.
Second.
No comment? No comment from the board? Call the question, please. Oh, okay.
Just briefly, I really do hope that people take a look at this. The board goals that are reflected here are really the result of a lot of hard work with this board. And I don't know if you've been watching this board over the past number of years, but it's a very different board. It's a deliberative board. I think of elective office as really a really powerful trust that the community puts in us, and our ability to work together in support of this public institution is really critical. These board goals aren't nothing. They're actually, they guide what we do and where we're trying to go. So I'm really grateful for my colleagues in working together to come up with these. And in particular, I'm really grateful to the board leadership, which just consistently puts in work to help us be prepared and to create a process that works for us. So thank you.
Thank you. Call the question.
Student trustee Malik?
Yes.
Student trustee Migliaccio?
Yes.
Trustee Withrow?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez Ewan?
Yes.
Trustee Napoli Bellarice?
Yes.
Trustee Delphine Polk?
Yes.
Trustee Yohannes?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez Brito?
Yes.
Trustee Quinlan?
Yes.
Motion passes.
So items 11:10 and 11:9 and 11:10, I need to recuse myself. Trustee Rito Gonzalez is going to take over, and I need to leave the room.
Thank you, Board President Quinlan. So we'll start with item 11.9, review of the purchase order reports for the period covering May 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2025.
Second.
Can I move approval of both items, 11.9 and 11.10?
Sure. Second. Any discussion? Okay, we'll call the roll.
Student trustee Malik?
Yes.
Student trustee Migliaccio?
Yes.
Trustee Withrow?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez Ewan?
Yes.
Trustee Napoli Bellarice?
Yes.
Trustee Delphine Polk?
Yes.
Trustee Yohannes?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez Brito?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Gonzalez Rito. Let's see. Board trustee reports. Starting with you, Trustee Withrow. Trustee Reese.
I want to welcome the faculty back to campus and thank the staff and administrators who mostly worked through the entire thing. And then in particular, welcome back students. I'm really excited and hopeful about the year and the direction that we're in. And I am super grateful for the labor that people put into this institution. So welcome back. My classes don't start for another month, so I've got a month of prep to do. Thank you.
Just welcome back. Thanks.
Yeah, me, Leo, and I had the honor of attending the CCLC Student Trustee Workshop, where we learned about just a warm introduction to the role of student trustee as a whole. We met with student trustees across the whole California state, and we learned about their districts and how there are many differences and that we need to broaden our perspectives a lot, but we gained many connections in the process. One of the goals that we saw that kind of reflects what we want to do in our district here is getting more students involved with shared governance. And so we've taken the initiative to start that by reaching out to the presidents at each of our colleges here and recruiting students to join the shared governance committees. Moving forward with that, we do want to actually hold, we want to hold convenings or mixers across our campuses to actually engage students and allow us to inform them of shared governance and their role in our district and how they can contribute as well. Moving forward with that, we did have the honor to meet the chancellor as well as a few of the trustees so far. And it is wonderful to be here at our first district meeting. And moving forward, we do want to explore other campuses on our district. We are both from Berkeley City College, but we do have plans to tour Laney College, Merritt College, and College of Alameda, and get an idea of the students there, as well as just campus life in general. So far, we've been able to visualize it, but I think actually experiencing it would be a much better opportunity to be involved in that way. And moving forward, again, just connecting with our college presidents as first and foremost. We want to set up regular and recurring meetings with them and their associated student governments to just understand each college's concerns and what we can do as student trustees to improve our efforts in outreach and just getting more students involved. And yeah, happy to be here.
Welcome.
If I went first, I probably would have said all that too. But no, yeah, expanding upon that, yes, the trip was fantastic. Thank you. Who was responsible? I'm assuming Sasha. Thank you very much for that. We did learn a lot. A lot of the people, I think we're on the later side, but a lot of people already had 1 or 2 meetings, and they thought it was very introductory, and they were like, I already know this, but it was very useful for us. So thank you, and the connections were great. And how to dress, that was very important. I was a little underdressed during the meeting. Yeah, so, shorts and t-shirts, but we're here with the college shirts. So anyways, thank you again. Happy to be here.
So for my comments, oh, sorry. Deanna, do you have any comments?
Only that I wish I were there with y'all. Happy welcome back to school, and I hope to see you all soon.
Get better.
Thank you.
So, the last year and a half has been amazing. I think just point to the 2 events this month coming in September. September 2nd, we're going to have the ribbon cutting on the new transportation center. And on September 30th, the new horticultural center up at Merritt. Okay, the other way around, sorry. Hopefully I'll show up in the right place. We're cutting ribbons. Buildings are going up and buildings are being finished and students are moving into them, which is incredible. This bond was a dream, 8 years ago? And it's coming to fruition all around our campus, all 4 campuses in the district office, and I think it's amazing. When I looked at the budget reports, and especially page 47, 48, where it showed our removal of the deficit in a 2-year runway, it was amazing. And then also the way around the 48 and 49, or 49 and 50, sorry, just the differences there, it's incredible what a year and a half can do of leadership of this board working together. And the one warning I have is that the reward for good work is more work. And I know that we're ready to embrace that. Our district leadership is ready to embrace it. And I think the most important thing, besides the buildings and everything, the budgets, I think a level of trust has been built in this district across classified, across faculty, and leadership in the district, and it's amazing. I was at the Chancellor's speech at the Flex Day, and sure, there was apprehension, but there was also incredible joy that we're moving forward. Thank you. Adjourn the meeting.
Announcements?
Oh, announcements.
So, unadjourned.
Okay, so announcements are Love Your Future. Enrollment is open for the fall term, including lots of short-term classes that will start in September and October. Visit the Peralta website to start the application or enrollment process. 2, the Citizens Parcel Tax Oversight Committee will meet here in the boardroom tomorrow, August 27th from 3 to 5 p.m. Please join us for a ribbon cutting ceremony for the new horticulture complex at Merritt College on Tuesday, September 2nd at 1 p.m. Please visit the Build Peralta website for more information and to RSVP. 4, we hope you already reserved your spot in the Dr. William Bill Riley Swing for Student Success Golf Tournament, a fundraiser for the Peralta Colleges Foundation, coming up Monday, September 8th, because it is sold out. Sponsorship and donation opportunities remain open at the foundation website, peraltafoundation.org. If you don't have a spot, don't fret. There's another opportunity to compete and raise funds for students. Join us Saturday, October 18th, 2025 for the Peralta Pumpkin Pursuit, a 5K run or walk around beautiful Merritt College in the Oakland Hills. It is a foundation fundraiser. There's only a 1-mile fun run for children. There's also a 1-mile fun run for children 12 years old or younger, so bring your family. Visit peralta.edu/5K to register. And finally, the Peralta colleges will be closed on Monday, September 1st in observance of Labor Day. We hope you have a safe and enjoyable holiday weekend. Now we can adjourn.
Thank you. Now we can adjourn.